what's up, guys? Let's have a conversation about August Alsina, Will Smith, and Jada Pinkett Smith, and just talk about the Smiths surviving August Alsina and why they probably will not get divorced. Now, I know there's been some speculation out there because of the revelations about the entanglements that Jada Pinkett Smith revealed on Red Table Talk when she and her husband Will Smith sat down to address the rumors and the speculations and the statements and comments that August Alsina made on the podcast where he was interviewed by Angela Yee, and they talked about the relationship that August Alsina had with Jada Pinkett Smith. Now, there were some things that were revealed, and then some statements came out from the Smiths PR representatives saying that these statements were not true, categorically untrue, false, and then they sat down and they addressed it. Well, the reason I believe that they are surviving August Alsina and they are not going to get divorced is, one, let's just begin with the conversation that they had at the Red Table. The mere fact that this even occurred, where Will Smith sat down and was pretty much interviewing his own wife for one of the highest rated Facebook watches that has occurred to date, shows that this was a business move. And as you guys know, I've said this before, that marriage is an institution that is a business. And unfortunately, too many people who go into it don't go into it thinking of it that way. And a lot of it is naivete. A lot of it is just, not being wise, not really being aware of what marriage is, and looking at shows like Bridezillas and Married at First Sight and all of these different wedding shows that come on television about the wedding dress and the wedding and the reception and the flowers and all of the different stuff that really doesn't mean anything, because weddings are for the guests. The marriage is for the two people who are going into this union, who are making vows before God and making commitments to stay together through better or worse, richer or poor, in sickness and in health, until death do us part. That's why a lot of marriages don't last and don't work, because people don't really know what they're going into. And that's why a number of people get offended when someone talks about a prenuptial agreement, because a prenuptial agreement I do believe in, because it is a business. Marriage is a business. That's why there's a license involved. It's not just something that you're just doing just for fun. And so when they went to the Red Table to have this discussion about things that, to be honest, really isn't any of our business. It really isn't any of our business. But because it's out in the public domain, it gives us the opportunity to discuss it. It gives us the opportunity to talk about it. And this is something that they chose to talk about. They didn't have to address it in the public, but they chose to do so. So that move right there goes to show you that they are surviving August Alsina, because it could have went the other way in terms of, one, them not discussing it in public. We just would get news of either Will Smith filing for divorce due to irreconcilable differences, marriage irretrievably broken, or one of these different reasons that they have listed for the reason someone files for divorce. Or maybe Jada Pinkett Smith filing for divorce because she just felt like this is just something that I can't continue to do anymore. But they sat down and they talked about it, and they wanted August Alsina to see them discussing the entanglement, so Jada Pinkett calls it, between herself and August. Will Smith calls August Og. That right there shows that Will Smith doesn't see him as a big deal. I know some people have said Will Smith looks so hurt and he looks so broken. He looked like he was crying over this situation. But to be honest with you, I really don't feel that way. I do feel that he felt a little bit embarrassed because it's something that was between them all and he didn't want it all to come out. And I also don't believe that when August says that Will Smith gave him the okay to smash his wife, I don't believe that. Now, maybe they did have a conversation and Will Smith said that, we're still married, but we're just living lives separately. She's doing her thing, I'm doing mine. So he felt like that gave him the okay to go there with Jada. But I don't believe that Will Smith gave him permission to do this. It's just something that happened probably over and 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 over again. But it happened. And so Will Smith calling August Alsina Og shows me that Will Smith sees him as he is, someone that's inferior to him. Not just in age, but also in status. Will Smith has been married to Jada for all of these different years, many, many years, over 20 some odd years, and he doesn't plan on going anywhere. They have this conversation. Will Smith presses Jada to go there, so she had to change the word entanglements to relationship. And after the conversation, after it's all said and done, at the end of this conversation, they say, "We ride together, we die together, bad marriage for life," and they fist bump. That statement and that movement was to seal it with August that they're going to survive this situation and he is not going to be the end of them. They are going to continue and move forward. Now, whether August was serious about thinking that Jada was actually going to leave Will and be done with him for good and actually get a divorce and be with him in an actual open relationship to the public, not open relationship like we know open relationships to be, but having a relationship in the open to the public, he may have been naive enough to think that way, but Jada was never thinking that way. She was seeing him as somebody to please her, to make her feel good, to fulfill her desires, wherever Will was at the time, whether he was being pleased and fulfilled by somebody else, which he probably was, and she probably knew about it. And that's why when Will said, "I'm going to get you back," and she said, "Oh, I think you've already done that." And he's like, yeah. I'm quite sure that he was doing his thing and she was doing hers. Now, while I still don't condone what Jada did, especially with somebody that age, I'm not saying that I'm against women who are older having whatever with somebody who is younger than them, but he was so much closer to the age of her son that it just, I'm sorry, it's wrong. It's just wrong. And I don't believe in adultery, so that's just my thing. But either way, they say that they're going to make this last because Jada has said it on a number of occasions. She's never come out and said that they have an open relationship, and she has addressed rumors in different interviews. But she has said, she told Will, you can do whatever you want as long as you can look at yourself in the mirror and be okay with it. And I'm quite sure he can do whatever he wants and look in the mirror and be okay because of this celebrity A-list couple. He is the A that makes them the A-list couple from the works that he has done, from the movies and the films and the television shows that he has been a part of. That is what makes them the celebrity A-list couple. And Will has made statements about his first marriage. Now, actually in June, he talked about his first marriage, where he had his first son, who was actually about the same age as the young man, August Alsina, that Jada had an entanglement with. His first son, his name is Trey. He's 27 years old. He opened up about it, and he said that, divorce is one of the things that he regrets the most in his adult life. His first wife, her name is Sherry Fletcher, and he says, with Sherry and with Trey, that was a really difficult time. Divorce was the worst thing in my adult life. Divorce was the ultimate failure for me. I've been hurt a lot in my adult life, but I don't think anything touches the failure of getting divorced from my 2-year-old son's mother. Now, when you dissect that, and he says that divorce is a failure, and he is someone who strives on doing well in his life as an adult, in his career, in the endeavors that he seeks to embark upon, and he says that divorce was the worst thing in my adult life and that it was the ultimate failure, that just goes to show you that that's not something that he strives to do again. So even though he said in the Red Table Talk to Jada that I was done with you, he may have said that, but not in a sense of I'm going to go and file for divorce so that we can be completely done with our relationship legally. But he just was doing his thing and she was doing her thing. Whether it's right or wrong, it's what happened. So the reason I don't believe that they are going to get a divorce is because Will Smith just does not want to go through that again. He sees divorce as a failure. And Jada has also said it as well, that they're going to be together. They're not going to get a divorce. Like she said, she told that to Will before, that you can do whatever, but this marriage, this relationship, this is something that we are going to make work. So this marriage to them is a business. And yes, like I said, I do believe that marriage itself, the institution, is a business. I don't believe that it should be entered into if there is no love there. And I also don't believe that you should be in a marriage with someone that is sleeping around with other people. I don't believe in that. But if that's what they choose to allow to happen in their lives, then that is what they choose to do. But I don't believe that August Alsina is going to be the death of their marriage. I believe that they are going to survive August Alsina and there is not going to be a divorce. Those are just my beliefs, because now they are on a vacation together. They went to a swanky villa for vacation, $3,000 a night, Albany Hotel, after the sit down at the Red Table. And now, even though things may be getting a little bit more entangled, because August has come out with a song called Entanglements featuring Rick Ross. He's striking while the iron is hot, obviously. This is not going to be a nail in the coffin either. I don't believe that this is going to be something that is going to dissolve their marriage. I believe that Will and Jada meant what they said at the end of the Red Table Talk when they said, we ride together, we die together, bad marriage for life. Now, a bad marriage for life, I don't think that you should want to be in a marriage that's bad. I do believe they were joking, though, when they said marriage for life, because obviously it's a play on words from the Bad Boys movie when they say bad boys for life. So it's just a play on words, but it kind of goes with the theme of having infidelity, and that could be a possible breakdown of a marriage relationship. Now, is it possible that August is trying to throw more of a wedge in there to get Will Smith pissed off? It's possible, because the song that he dropped called Entanglements, there's a line in the song, and he clearly is addressing Jada and Will. So he says, left your man to F with me just to pay him back. That ain't my girl, but I got the key to the crib and to your car, to the crib and to her heart. So yeah, he's trying to get at them even more. Now, is it possible that they could have had the red table talk and brought in August Alsina to have the conversation with the two of them? Absolutely. But this is what we call surviving August Alsina. They're not going to bring him into the conversation because they're Xing him out. Although Jada did say in the red table talk that he, meaning August, cut it off when she was still trying to communicate and connect with him in obviously more ways than one. She left it alone. So they wouldn't have brought him into the conversation, because this is to show that they're surviving August Alsina. They're not going to have this be the breakdown of their marriage, because Jada has said it. They were supposedly separated when she decided to go there with him. So he was never going to be the reason as to why the relationship dissolved and ended in a divorce. They're going to be together. So they're surviving August Alsina. So this is some of my thoughts, guys. Just some of my thoughts. I never believed in couple goals and relationship goals. The only goals that you should have for your relationship are the ones that you desire for yourself, and it should not be based on comparison. They should not be based on what you see somebody sharing and showing on social media, because we already know that social media is the highlight reel of people's lives. It is not the worst of times. It's usually just the best of times, or the made up of times, because people don't really want to go there and show the losses and the vulnerabilities. They want to show the best of themselves, even if it's not real. So get rid of the couple goals and the relationship goals when you see other people showing affection or showing their so-called relationship habits when you don't really know what's real. You have to know what you want for your own life. You shouldn't seek for someone else to make you happy. You should have the things that you desire for you to be happy on your own, so that when you connect with someone else, then you're just happy together versus trying to wait for someone else to make you happy. And making yourself happy shouldn't be something that you strive for from what you get from other people anyway. It should be from just the things that you desire in life. It shouldn't be based on what other people do for you or to you, whether it is your significant other or a friend or a client or whatever it is. It should never be based on other people, because if you are waiting on other people to do things for you, if you are getting your hopes built in other people, then you will always be disappointed. Always. So that is it for this conversation, guys. You let me know your thoughts in the comment section. This is the Minister of Beauty. Thank you so much for supporting the channel by clicking the links in the description box. And thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing, and hitting the notifications bell so you know whenever I do post a new video. I share the Bible as the Minister of Beauty, and that is business, inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment. So until the next episode, have an amazingly blessed and beautiful day.